I have no idea what happened there. I received a phone call and I went to go on my cell phone. I hit ignore, and then all of a sudden the entire thing went bloop. Sorry. Hope Powell, welcome. All United, Melissa, Little Lady, Di, Lanky, Tor, Helen, Blue Mermaid. I'm glad you guys were able to find this. I have no idea what happened there. Weber family, good morning. Norma. I hope everybody else can make their way over here. Freda. Weatherford, good morning. Carla, good morning. Ginger Ninja, I get this. Just a stupid American. Oh, Yedis McFettis, you're an idiot. But thank you for joining this morning. I can't show that message because I don't allow vulgarity on my channel. But if you would like to rephrase that, and drop the first part of that, go ahead and post it again. Helen Johnson, Miss Wee Lassie. Now, what I was showing everybody the setup. So right here, I've got the green screen over there. Area set up over there for my son to watch videos while I'm editing. Over there, I've got the computer. You can barely see it, but turn my phone on. Trying to turn on silent. So, is anyone buying a Christopher Watts book that should win Bird Liner of the Year in the trash bin? Which book? If you go on to Amazon, I think there are 8 different books that are print-on-demand books you can get about the Christopher Watts story. Yeah, this McFettis. I'm in prison in New York. I hope your time's going good. Make the best of it. Once you're out, if you want to check out a couple of YouTube channels that you might enjoy, check out 23-1 Lockdown and After Prison Show. Both of them make good content on trying to help people change their lives around. Rich, did you pronounce that Breerman from the Jersey Shore? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name there, Rich. KS, good morning. Stephanie M, Mindy, good morning. You're homesick, sick from work. We'll see how long I can hang. Hopefully you can. Cindy, appreciate you stopping by, though. Jesseline, welcome. Lanky Tor, welcome. Ginger Lock's mom. No, Freda, to answer your question, so they postponed it the sale of the Watts home indefinitely. It was supposed to happen actually today, was the date that they had postponed this. So April, they postponed it to July, from July to September, from September, and then the firm that is handling the sale for the roof checks and for the bank has decided to put off the sale of the home indefinitely. It will most likely go back on the market and for sale sometime mid next year. Because with the publicity of the Watts movie coming out and other issues that came up, they just didn't feel that this was the proper time to put the house on the market to get full value for it. Linda K, good morning. Did anybody else check out Linda's live stream last night? I watched it as long as I could, but I'm sorry, I was traveling through the mountain pass last night, and it dropped out. Rupal, welcome. Long time no see. Sean was a good creator. He was an investor who ended up in jail. Very yeah. I've been following this Sean Atwood story a little here and there. I've got my hands full right now with YouTube, trying to work out. So they changed the way that they for all those who are creators. You probably have seen the tab in the blue that comes up at the top of the page now, and they want you to answer a bunch of questions, to help them, monetize your content quicker. But if you answer the questions and they lock you in, you can never make a change from that. So, hey, Win, good morning. Hope you're doing well. And before I forget, Karen, good morning, Karen. So this live stream will most likely get demonetized. I think the last like 6 of them, anyways.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing.
I spelled it wrong. Yeah, Weber family. I know who you're talking about. The Piano Man. No, that was the Kingston Trio. Where have all the flowers gone? No, I've got. I was trying to before I had a phone call and the other stream ended, but I was trying to set a new ringtone, downloading it. The next one was Billy Joel, Piano Man. That tiny little snippet that you heard. That was Billy Joel, Piano Man. That tiny little snippet. But before that was Where Have All the Flowers Gone by the Kingston Trio. At least I think it was the Kingston Trio. My phone is blowing up. Okay, so I'll tell you why my phone. I'm going to set my phone over here on the pad so even on vibrate doesn't make any noise. So the people that are blowing up my phone right now are, I met some people online who told me that they were going down for the Area 51 raid. And I've been talking to them all morning. They're still there. They don't plan on leaving until late Sunday night, Monday morning. I don't think that they're going to actually be leaving. I think if they go anywhere, they're going to be going to jail. I can't get into what they were talking about and what they plan on doing. But I am going to be releasing a video on my other channel about it. Missing some comments. I'm sorry. Freda, when is the Watts movie coming out? I don't know the actual release date. I'm sorry. I know they're filming it right now. Part of it is being filmed in Canada, other part in California, and another part in New Mexico here in the United States. Debbie Gillikin, good morning from Detroit. Good morning. Oh, it's a no-go zone, but I don't think that these people are all there together. Happy Sunday, everyone. From Dana Schmida. Love my Saturday afternoons, 4 p.m. in the UK, watching Will. Great. What happened? Well, apparently it turned out to just be a giant party and a rock concert of sorts. Yeah, Matthew, it is definitely a shameful to the family. All right, Melissa. Hopefully, we'll still be on live here when you get back. Should be. Hello from Maine. Beautiful day today, Tina. Have I ever asked you where in Maine you're at? My friend Tim is from Old Town. He'll be in town later on this afternoon. I think actually this morning. No, he has to be here this morning. So because we're golfing at noon, we have a 12 o'clock tee time. True crime quiz still waiting. I think that'd be fun, Ginger Ninja. Red Rum, Red Rum. Good morning. From Augusta in the sticks. All right. I'm sure he's very familiar with that area. He's got family all over the state. Out here on the West Coast where I live, he has a brother that lives up by the Seattle area, and then he's got family in Hawaii, and the rest of them are still in the Maine area, in the state, or well, they're in Maine or in Boston. How's your foot, Stephanie? It still hurts. Swelling's finally gone down, but every once in a while, when I put pressure on it, if I'm not wearing my brace, they got me this orthopedic brace that has like arch support, and it goes around the front part of my foot, and it's got a strap, and then I can actually slide my entire foot into a normal shoe, which is awesome. You have a friend in Bangor? I've always wanted to go to Bangor, Maine, just so I could see the Stephen King home. Wish somebody, in the Bangor, Maine, would do like just walk down the street and take pictures of that wrought iron fence of his. Todd Muslin trial. I have a lot going on. He allegedly murdered his wife with a corn rake. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. That's brutal. Weber family, like the aliens. Um, Fred, to answer your question, I don't know. That's another one I don't know the answer to. I don't know who they actually got the story from and what they're basing the movie on. So they had to, I mean, you can make so much of a story for a movie, a script off of public information, but they have to have someone that they've been talking to. Is it the Watts family that's making money off it? Is it the roof checks? I don't know. Come to Singapore. My family will be your host. Gabriella, I've never been to Singapore. Oh, Rupel, is that in Idaho? Hmm. What about the guy who killed his wife and then went to church and then killed his two children after church? Linda Kay. Drawing a blank on it. I know I shouldn't be. Tina, that'd be awesome. I just want to see the area. And remember, that's where he was ran over, hit by that van, walking and reading his own book. Oh, Iowa. Singapore is beautiful. Went there many years ago. Dana Schmida. Dana, did you catch Scott's latest video where he's talking about blowing his stand-up routine for the David Letterman show? And he talks about how much his landlord is an a-hole. True crime, more bizarre than fiction. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have none of my notes out here with me. Everything's still in there. I just got all this stuff out here in this area and somewhat set up as you see it. And then I had to leave. And I go to work. I was just in Bangor, Maine yesterday and saw Stephen King's house. He owns a White House next door. So there's a tunnel connecting the two houses. Wow. I know when my grandmother, after she passed, her home was the Historical Society picked up her home, and it's now part of the historical landmark. And they do tours of the home. And when they were doing renovations to structurally support the foundation of the home, because it was originally put on rocks, because that's how old this house is. They found a tunnel that went through her basement, down, and then underneath the railroad tracks, which are about 100 yards away from her home across the street, and then a large field. And so the tunnel went down underneath her home, down underneath all that, underneath the train tracks, and it came up underneath the Capitol building in downtown St. Paul, Minnesota. They believe that their home was originally a bootlegger's tunnel that went from her home, because she bought it obviously way after the bootleggers had it, but they don't do tours of it, but they put up a wrought iron gate in front of where the tunnel is. Ooh, I'm sorry if I'm missing your questions. Starting to chill in the weather here, Will. Soon the fall colors. Love that time of year. That'd be cool. Linda, I don't miss the weather all that much in Minnesota. I mean, I do miss the changing of the seasons and there being a definite difference in seasons. Where I live now, it's all pretty much one season. It's a road construction season, and then the rest of that 1.5 weeks is you might get snow or sleet. That's it. Oh, not really a weird emotion. My grandmother was a very quiet and reserved individual. She didn't really like people coming to her home, but we lived about 5 blocks away. So whenever we wanted to see grandma just came to us. Richard Bachman, Weber family, is the other name that he is written underneath. I think what was it his first one underneath Richard Bachman, was it the Regulators, or did he put that underneath the Stephen King? I can't remember. My wife is a huge Stephen King fan. She probably has just about every book that he's ever written. What Richard? I live in Washington State, out on the West Coast. I mean, I'm in nowhere near the ocean, but that's where I live, Washington State. pen name, Richard Bachman. Yeah. Washington. Yep. I am in Washington State. We are the evergreen state. And where I live, you'd be hard pressed to find a tree. Kiki, welcome. How are you doing this morning, Kiki? Not where I live, Ginger. Nope. Washington State is a very unique state when it comes to climate and weather. On one side of the state, you have the Rocky Mountains. The other side of the state, you have the Cascade Mountain Range, and they come down like a V, and everything down in between in this valley area, in between the Rockies and the Cascades, gets almost no rain at all. And Washington State is the only state in the lower 48 that has every type of climate: desert, semi-desert, high plains, rainforest, deciduous forest. We've got it all in this one state. I live where it's dead. Miss Wee Lassie, because the western side of the state is, the deciduous forest, dense, thick forest. The upper part of the state, so it goes like this. So if you're looking at the state like, straight on, dense forest this way towards the ocean, and on that side of the Cascades, and then up going around towards the upper part of the state through all the way over to the end, like Spokane area, and then back down again this way. It's just the dead center of the state is dead. There's nothing here. And this town where I live wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Manhattan Project. Nobody could get here. Nobody wanted to live here, except for it was all farming communities, huge farming communities. But they moved here because they wanted to build the nuclear reactors and make the isotopes for the atomic bomb. Those are made right here. The bombs that were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the radioactive material came from right here. I mean, not like right here in my garage, but came from this area. All United. Used to live in Las Vegas. Yeah, my father-in-law's, my wife's stepfather, mother. She lived in McLaughlin, and she just passed away about 2 weeks ago. Lovely woman. Yeah, I've got one about 50 yards outside the door over here. We have a fallout shelter. Came with the house. Just about every home here in this area had one at one time. A lot of them have been filled in, but that's all right. So Ginger, my wife's stepfather, mother, passed away. The wife and everybody are going down to Vegas for the memorial service, I think here next week. They already did the funeral. She didn't want anybody making a fuss over her. So she didn't want like a huge gathering or a celebration of life. So, but they're going to do a celebration of life and a memorial service for her in a week once all of her friends and relatives can gather. She is, okay, so my wife, here's her stepfather, her mother. So her stepfather and mother, they're related to Tom Selleck, the actor. So it's from that side of the family. I have never met Tom Selleck, by the way. at family reunions and stuff like that, he's never shown up. But there are some other minor celebrities within the family who have shown up. I wouldn't say, well, I shouldn't say minor. I mean, they've had careers and then they've either gone away from the limelight, but they're still in there. Why did you put the TV in the garage? Sticker players. So I have a four bay garage, and we put up a temporary wall on one side, and we're dividing it into two, and this is where my new studio is going to be. And over there, I set up an area for my son to watch videos while I'm editing. And over here, I've got the computer. This is the screen that we use, the TV we use for live streams. You hook it up to a computer. Well, you can see it right there next to the table. There's the computer right there. So we hook it up to the TV. So we're old. Our eyesight is not as good as it used to be. So, I mean, put it on a 65-inch TV, we can actually see the comments. Ginger, I'll have to go up. Thank you, Ginger. I'm sorry, Ginger. I missed your comment about the bunker. We're probably going to fill ours in though. I mean, it came with the house. We haven't even been here in this home for a year yet. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. Blue Mermaid used to love Magnum PI. Yeah, Magnum PI. It's a good show. I'm sure he's done other things besides that. I mean, isn't he like a police officer or something on TV now? Or a detective? I don't watch much TV. It's funny though. You can pick up a 65-inch, like this is a Vizio. You can pick up a TV like that cheaper than you can buy a computer monitor. I was just at Best Buy the other day and saw that. I was like, are you kidding me? No, Ginger, I can't find your other comment about the bunker. I'm sorry. It'd be cool to see the bunker. I'd have to take my phone out there and shoot a video of it. Everything here is connected. It's not wireless. And I'm not going to take the camera off there again because I don't know if it was me taking the camera off the tripod or what, but that's how the detectives show they wear colorful shirts, Hawaii or something. Kiki, I don't know. For some reason, if my memory serves me correct, it was something like not an NYPD Blue, but he's on some show like that. Now, your late husband looked like Tom Selleck from Magnum PI. Yeah, the two Doberman pinchers. Those were. What was the other guy's name? I can't remember. Our home is circa 1900 in the historical district. We have an outdoor bunker. Yeah, this is an outdoor bunker. If I don't know where you live, Ginger, but I would call this, what we have out here is close to what we would have back home in Wisconsin as a tornado shelter. It's just basically cinder block wall. It's got a bunk bed in it, and it's got shelves where you can put food storage. No electricity. Blue Bloods. That's the name of it. I knew it was something like that. See, I knew we could all figure it out. A tornado can't wreck it. Now this thing has got a giant like metal door on it. Octopuses have blue blood. Did not know that. Did not know that about octopuses. Really? Your grandfather? What? Sorry for your loss of family's loss. My great uncle is the reason my grandfather's death. I understand. Sorry for your loss. Stickers. You have 2 exams next week. What are you taking? All United? All Unite. Well, either way, thank you for joining us. Well, the Ripple, the aftermath did. They had huge storms that hit the East Coast. There was a lot of flooding. Horseshoe crabs have blue blood as well. Bye, all Unite. And my wife has finals next week too. Imagine if Godzilla was outside the house, what would I do? I'd probably get squashed stickers because I'd be like, look, it's Godzilla. What? And he'd squash me. I don't know what I'd do if it was Godzilla. You'd offer him a cup of tea? Better be a giant cup of tea, Ripple. No, Tina's right. I think it came along the East Coast, like about north or off, back out into the ocean. You should get a selfie with Godzilla, Kiki. Nope, stickers. But I've been talking to these guys all morning about the raid on Area 51. From what I understand, from what they were telling me, it's not over. This group at least. I can't say too much about it without giving it away, because they asked me not to release it. They knew I was making a video of it, but they asked me not to release it until after 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock my time. So, which I think is the same time zone. Yeah, well, it brought a lot of money into the area down there, though. The motels were booked up. There was another guy who was doing tour buses. He brought in tour buses from Los Angeles to give people tours of the area, and everything that was interesting. I don't know what there is to look at down there, but it'd be like me just driving 3 miles outside of town. It looked the same. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I don't know. I'm really torn about Bigfoot. I've spent a lot of time in the forest, and so have a lot of my friends, and elk hunting, and all the times that we've been elk hunting or deer hunting, we've never run across anything like Bigfoot prints or bones or any kind of nesting area for a large animal like that. But at the same time, there have been Gigantus epithecus or something like that. There was an actual real gorilla that may have come over from Asia on the land bridge before the Bering Sea, and all that filled it in, that could have lived here in the United States and in the upper part of Canada. They know that for a fact. Is there a small percentage of them that could be alive that hasn't died off? Could be. I mean, I think back to during Vietnam. We'll take that for instance. Vietnam, for instance, a lot of soldiers who fought in Vietnam used to tell stories about little miniature reindeer jumping around and running up and down in the forest of Vietnam, and for 30 years or something like that, scientists kept on telling them that they were all hallucinating, that they were high on methamphetamine, because they used to give speed to soldiers, and used to get them in your ration kits. And they said no, that they were wrong. They were just delusional. And then they actually found the little deer. It is just a miniature, cute little deer. And the male grows little antlers, just like a regular deer. Yeah. So I'm on the fence about it. Tina, you're, by the way, be right back. I'm all froze up. Okay, good. Why to give speed to soldiers? I don't know. We've been doing it since it was invented. Used to get them in tablet form. I have somewhere in my basement. I have a bunch of MREs. I mean, most of the food has been taken out of the packages, but I still have it. I mean, you can buy them. You can buy the surplus. You can buy them online. There are YouTube channels where I think it's Steve MRE 2009 or something like that. He has some number after it, I think. But that's all he does is eats MREs and shows MREs that from World War I onward. And they used to put cigarettes in there and speed and a lot of great things that used to be in MREs. Now, not so much. It could have been, but they found huge pockets of them stickers. It's just like, another example would be the coelacanth. They thought the coelacanth had been extinct 1,000 years or something like that, and they found them off the coast of Madagascar. Yeah, to keep them awake, presumably. A lot of soldiers came back from Vietnam hooked on it, though. Ripple, yeah, going postal. I actually did a video on it. If you search my channel about going postal, the term actually started with before we had mass school shootings. They used to have, say people were going nuts and they would be going postal. It was a term that came up from postal workers who were shooting and killing each other in large quantities. But there is a video on my channel about it. Abellis, good morning. And yes, there are a lot of discoveries that are being made. Right now, I know that there are scientists who are on an expedition into the rainforest in the Amazon. They are down there trying to find the giant sloth. The indigenous people there have been talking about the giant sloth for years, and they have seen photographs from like the 1970s of dead ones. but no one has ever seen one alive, and they believe that they're still there in the Amazon rainforest, but no one's bothered to look for one. So I know that I saw that on the Discovery Channel. I just happened to be walking through the living room when my wife and my daughter were watching it. Yeah. The term going postal, to answer your question, is basically someone goes nuts and they do something like, a mass shooting in the workplace is normally what it's, referring to. But good morning, Abellis. One second. Sorry to look away here, but I have to answer this text. If I can get this damn screen closed. Okay. Always important to reply back to your wife when they text. I saw a video of a dinosaur that's low quality, a T-Rex, and looked at the camera video. Hope the cameraman's okay. I don't know about that. Never seen that. Really? I didn't know that, Rupal, that the Royal Mail sorting facility is that big. It's me. Good morning. How's my favorite Cubs fan? You're right, Linda. Happy wife, happy life. Miss Wee Lassie used to call her youngest daughter a sloth because of how bloomin' slow she was in doing things. Yeah, I've been following them all week. They get some good young talent on the team. It gives me hope for the future. As long as they don't trade them away for picks later on or some stupid. My wife is working on her master's degree in psychology. Aberrant. It's aberrant. Oh, wait, I gotta get this right. Aberrant sexuality is her actual study, but she's getting her master's in psychology. Just got here. Sorry if you talked about it, but there's a Watts book coming out. Feel free to ignore me if you mentioned it before. Bells, why would I ignore you? I can answer the question again. Yeah, I know there is another book that's coming out, but there are several that are on Amazon right now. I believe they're print on demand books, but maybe they're ebooks only. But there are several out there. I know there's another one coming out. Go Cards. There you go. Dardine. I have my Cardinals hat. Well, my whole entire collection of hats that are in the house. But psychology, a good call, study wise. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Rupal. Stickers? No. No, but it doesn't stop my family from buying me games, though. I should start. I'm thinking about opening up my own video game store. I've got so many brand new unopened games for the Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and the what's the other one? There's the Xbox One, and what's the other system called? I can't remember. I don't play them. I just have to hand my card over when they go to the store to buy them. But they always end up buying me this, games, and I don't know. I don't play them. I used to. When the Xbox 360 came out, I used to play a little bit of Modern Warfare and Call of Duty, but I don't know. It got to me. It bothered me, psychologically. So I stopped playing it, and I haven't finished or played one of those games in a long time. When I'm on the computer, I still have the very first version of SimCity, and I like tooling around with that every once in a while, or maybe I'll play solitary. About the extent of my video game playing. PlayStation. So what did the PlayStation become? It's got a name to this. It's the new one. Your Blue Mermaid son works testing games. That'd be cool. Yeah, I have the very first one that was date me, I'm sure, but I have the old DOS version before Windows came out. The DOS version. Well, no, when Windows came out, it was Windows 95 back then, or Windows 98 when it came out. Spectrum? PS4. That's what it is. My wife and my daughter, they play video games. I don't. My son plays Daniel the Tiger on his Amazon Fire tablet. That and Elmo's Alphabet. So I guess he's a gamer too. Just not me. That was Windows 94. Ooh. I used to have a VIC 20. Wow. Mid gas guy. That's a long time ago. Huh. And good morning, mid gas guy. The very first computer that we ever had was the Intellivision. I guess it would be the first one because it was a game system, but it had a keyboard, a floppy hard drive. I found actual floppy disks the other day. Where did I put those? 1 second. Anybody remember these things? The hard cases? Now look at this. Huh? There's some technology for you. Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, Intro to Writing. For all those who don't remember what these are, or didn't know what these are, this is how we used to store things on computers. We have a double-sided, double-density backup disk for Windows 94. Yeah? Oh, this one just says files, double-density soft sector with hub ring. Ooh, a hub ring, huh? Let's see. Oh, the game Sherlock. What we got here? Midterm writing. WordPerfect disk is full. And that one just says files. I still have these suckers. Don't have a computer to use them with, but I still have them. I ran across them while I was moving all this stuff out here the other day. Floppy disks, yeah. Remember those? Well, yeah. That is a floppy disk, Medgas guy. I still got some old floppy disks. God knows it works on them. Yeah. I found a bunch of 3 1/4s too. I mean the hard disk ones. Antiques Will, are you rich? No. Am I rich? No. I'm working poor. Do you know turkey? I don't know what turkey is. Like other than the bird. Was caught because of a floppy disk. Bind, torture, kill. That was one sick puppy. Miss Wee Lassie. That's cool. The program you made of bouncing balls took hours to do. Do I like Ollie? Love music. Oh, I love all kinds of music. Everything from classical to I guess they would call it classic rock or old school rock, old time music. I don't know what the hell you people call it anymore. I know, but I love all kinds of music. I even like country, like older country. I don't like newer country, but I'm talking like Tennessee Ford, Glenn Campbell, some older of the of all kinds of music, eclectic. Waylon Jennings. I've got Waylon in the house. I've got Kiki. I have every single record ever put out by Johnny Cash. I mean, every one. And you just to put that into context. Now, that's every one of his first releases. Now, there were a lot of companies that put out records of his later on and released them underneath different labels. They took the EMI record or Capitol Records and then they released it on another label. But I have all the originals, and that is just under 300 records total that are just Johnny Cash. You kill in deer hunting? If I ever killed a deer, yes. Last deer I got was, I want to say 6 years ago was the last time I went. Chris Stapleton, Val Mosley. I've listened to some Chris Stapleton. Listened to a lot more of it when my sister's around. Lancator, Belson, pretty stupid. Huh? I have his New Testament audio CDs where he reads the whole Bible, and it belonged to my dad. That's cool. I have a lot of his gospel records. A lot of people don't remember. I mean, Johnny Cash started off as a gospel singer, and when he went to try to get people to want to record his music, nobody wanted to record him singing gospel, and they said, "You have anything else?" And they kind of played it down a little bit in the movie I Walk the Line, but great movie, by the way. But that's what he was. He had gospel and folk songs, and they were like, no, we're not looking for that. That's not what's selling right now. Right now, this new thing, rock and roll, is what people want. And he had a couple songs that he sang that he wrote himself, and they were like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. But his most popular song ever, in most of the Ring of Fire album, was actually songs that came from June Carter. Oh yeah, Dana Schmidt. That's what we're talking about. I Walk the Line was the name of the movie with Joaquin Phoenix. It's a pretty good movie. Ooh, stickers. You might start a Twitch account playing games on Twitch. Yeah, if you ever, if those who out there who really want to read a couple of interesting books, read both of Johnny Cash's books, Man in Black and Man in White, I think they're called. Check out the Dead South, Ring of Fire. Yeah, he got married in a fever. Man, you just got started on YouTube. Do I have any tips? Sure. Um, Stickers. Stay away from true crime. I know that I'm not saying it because I don't want the competition or anything like that. I'm saying stay away from reporting or doing stories on true crime because YouTube is 0.007 cents per for in the true crime genre. You want to make money and be able to survive and have this pay for itself, move on to a different subject. Other things that I would suggest off the top of my head is don't go out there and go hog wild and spend a ton of money on equipment, cameras, editing software. Don't do any of that. If you have a smartphone, you can start off making videos on just a smartphone and using freeware for editing. There are quite a few good ones, like depending on if you have an iPhone or if you're just like a regular PC. But if you're using just regular like a Samsung or an LG cell phone, the cameras on these suckers are better than $800 camera like this. You get the same quality, and you can use Open Shot Editor, free. It's a shareware program, and it has a lot of the same features that you'll get on DaVinci and all these other pay-as-you-go editing software. Other things to realize is you want to have good audio. You want people to make sure that they can hear you. So depending on what your content you actually decide to narrow it down. Think about what your audience wants to see. If you have any more questions, go to my About Me page, and if you click on that and you scroll down, you'll see a tab that says it's just business sponsorship and alike. If you click on that and shoot me an email, I'll be more than happy to help you along as much as I can. Good morning, Will. Glad to see you this morning. Sharon Hamilton, good morning. The dogs are outside. Um, I have right now. Let's see. There are only 4 dogs here right now. The other ones are at the vet. They're getting flea dipped this morning, and they had one had ear mites, or what the thing is they call them, right? In dogs, can dogs have ear mites too? They're all rescues. We've had Lady Duncan. I will. I'm late. Lovely to see you. Have all the bells and whistles going. Yeah. We're about to get a chime here, probably. Hold on. I forgot to turn off the YouTube notices. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Zelda. Hey, Zelda. While I have you here and I have your you listening in your ear. How far are you from McMinnville? I want to help Dana. I know I wish that there was someone when I started off on YouTube. I mean, I've only been at this a little over a year, but I wish there was somebody who would have helped me when I started off. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. You're near Gresham, okay? Well, I might be in the McMinnville area next month. I'm not sure yet, but I might be there for 6 days. Your dog was from the downtown Chicago by the John Hancock building. Chickadee D? Yeah, I'm still setting it up. So over here to this side, I've got the green screen. I set up an area over here for my son to watch over there to watch videos while I'm editing. The computer, a table, and all that's just sitting over here. I've only got part of it out here. And I got it set up, and then I had to leave for work the other day. So I'm rescued. The John Hancock building, huh? Where am I from? I'm from Wisconsin originally. I had a relative in Gresham stay there. Could see Mount Hood from their back porch. That's cool. I'm going down to McMinnville to help move a 1964 Ford Mustang that is in a garage. That the roof is still good on the garage, and it's been sitting up on blocks for the last 30 some years. And around the outside of the garage, the trees have grown up around it, so they can't get the door open, and the big door to get the garage. We had to crawl in through. Well, I didn't, but they did. They had to crawl in through a window on the garage to get into where the car is. So we're going down to rescue the car for my friend, and we figure it's going to take us a couple of days. Before we can even get to the garage to get the car out, we have to make a path through. The gentleman got into a fight with the Ford dealership over something was wrong with the car, and he thought that the Ford should pick up the car from him and take care of it. And he fought with them until he died. And then his wife was just like, "He's nuts." I don't know why he thought that, but so it's one of those rare barn finds of a car. Been sitting in a garage for 30 some years and no one has touched it. We're sure that they got in, they looked at it, they opened up the doors and stuff like that, and the seats are pretty much gone. The mice have eaten and torn pretty much everything inside of it out, but it's still original. The motor, everything is still there, and it's been sitting up on blocks the whole time. So we figure it's going to take us at least 4 or 5 days of work just to get this car out of there. And we actually looked into getting a helicopter to come over and pick it up with the straps and fly it out. Yeah, that's not going to happen. The cheapest place that had a helicopter that was big enough to and could do that was, I think they wanted like $8,000 to do it. We're like, no. So yeah, we might actually do the shoot the whole thing on for YouTube, but it wouldn't go on my channel because it wouldn't fit. But it very well might go over on my buddy's channel. Yeah, Jan Birkin song thing. What color is the car? I don't know what color the car is. I mean, it's original. I don't know what colors they came in. From 205 going east, 24, 10 miles from my home, going north up to 84. Well, I just knew you were in that area. Your husband uses a helicopter to place Motorola equipment on buildings. That's cool. Candy apple red. That would be cool as hell, Mad Gas Guy. I had a buddy in high school who had a 64. Well, no, it wasn't 64. It was a 65 Ford Mustang. And it was not baby blue, but it wasn't like a dark blue. And that thing was absolutely cherried, like showroom quality cherried Mustang. And he wouldn't let me anywhere near it. He'd let me look at it from a distance, but he didn't trust me to near the car. So I used to joke with him, all right, fine. You're not allowed anywhere near my AMC Pacer. I wouldn't let him in it. Wouldn't let him ride in it. Wouldn't let him near it. Saw him in the parking lot. We had like this game. He'd keep me away from his Mustang, and I'd keep him away from my AMC Pacer. Morning, Cece. You want a 64 fastback Mustang? Did they have the fastback in 64? Or is that what it's called? I'm not really familiar with the cars all that much. Pacer? That's what your daddy drove? I had a Pacer and a Gremlin. And then I had the Pacer first, then I got the Gremlin, and then I sold the Gremlin and I bought a Datsun B210. Got better gas mileage. I think I only ended up paying like $300 for that car, for that and I drove the living snot out of that car. My only breed since 1990. It's cool. I don't know which one was worst, AMC Pacer or the Gremlin. Just kidding. I don't know. They sold a hell of a lot of Gremlins and Pacers. Both of them. I mean, the Pacer, remember the Pacer med gas guy, the passenger door was longer than the driver's door by, I think, 2.5 or 3 inches. It was meant to give easier access to the back seat. So the driver's door was this long, and the passenger side door was that much longer. Oh yeah. Well, Linda, we called them the bubble car. Hello, Miss Hall. How are you doing today? Glad you could be here. Adam West, one of the best. So they had the Pacer was in. Yeah, it was the Pacer, wasn't it? And um, it's been filmed in quite a few different movies over the years, but I believe Wayne's World. I think they drove a green Pacer. You don't remember which one? 1974. Wayne's World, party on. Dana Schmida, thank you. A Morris Minor. I saw one at a car show not too long ago. I believe that's what it was. In Aurora, Illinois. Yeah. Cable access. Channel. What was it? 3 or 13 or something? 11. I can't remember. Oh, I don't know what that. What is a Borg word? I don't know what that is. Wow, a DeLorean. Did you know that you can still buy a DeLorean brand new today? They are still. So John DeLorean, when the company went bankrupt, there was a company that stepped in and bought up all the parts that were still available, and they're still selling the parts today. And you can basically make an entire DeLorean. It does not come with a flux capacitor, though. You have to buy that separately. GTX. Well, they tried. AMC tried. Flux capacitor. Yeah. A little shot at Back to the Future there, huh? My mate had a DeLorean. The, the DeLoreans were made originally. Where were they manufactured? Like Ireland? It was. Oh, it was a good movie. And Linda, I think it's still a good movie. I think the original one was much better than the other ones. The premise of it was great. Yeah, well, Schmida, and it's being self-produced by them, and you can jump in. I believe still on the funding of that. They're making the new Ted and Bill's Excellent Adventure by crowdfunding because they couldn't get a studio that wanted to back them without them being able to have an influence on how the movie was going to be made and who was in it. Fiats. I've never owned a Fiat. Hadn't realized DeLorean died and had a stroke. Yeah. Kindness Cakes, good morning. Soccer mom of one, good morning. AMX, American Muscle Car, yeah. Is that the one that looked like the Challenger? I mean, I have a mental picture of it, mid-gas guy, but I'm just trying to remember what it looked like. And I know they had one that was at the time was Challengers were in charge, like in the 70s, the big giant muscle cars. Chrysler 300C, my favorite car of all time, looks great. I've owned a lot of cars in my life. I'm trying to think, if I ever had a car that is my favorite, and I can't think of one, not a single car that I have truly enjoyed or loved. Now I've had a truck that I truly loved, and I wish I still owned it. It was a 1969 Ford F100 pickup. The classic ones do. Sorry. I gotta go get some coffee. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Had two guys on it. There's been a couple of different ones like that over the years. There was Car Talk. Motor Trend had one that was somewhat similar to it. I can't remember what the name of that show was though. Coffee break, Jeopardy music playing. Funny, Linda. Well, may I ask your thoughts on Bigfoot? I'm also fascinated. I've watched hours of stuff and veer towards they do exist. Kindness Cakes? I don't know. I'm on the fence about if Bigfoot is real or not. There could be. I know that I've been in the forest a lot. I was telling earlier, in the stream here, that I've been in the forest a lot. Either elk hunting or deer hunting. I've never seen any like footprints or evidence that they are real, but there is a chance that they could be. I'm not going to discount that they're not. Because a lot of times in science they've said, well, they can't be real. This can't be real. This is non-existent. This has been dead for 10,000 years, and then it turns out that they find them. And it's like, oh look, guess all these people, eyewitness testimonies of people telling you, look, they're real. Those people aren't crazy after all. So if there could be an animal out there like it, But at the same time, though, I will say that I have seen bears do some bizarre stuff walking on 2 feet, walking just like a human. So it could be. Zelda. I have two Toyota 4Runners. Mine's 20,000 K because I can't drive, knee surgery and spinal stuff. I've in my entire life, I've never owned a single Toyota. Never, not once. In high school, all my Toyotas and rock crawlers and off-roading vehicles, but I never owned a Toyota. Right now, I own. I have a 2007 Ford F-150, and I hardly ever use it. It sits in my driveway more than anything else. Then I have a Chevy Aveo 5. It's like a little tiny compact car. I usually use that just for road trips and ventures. Then we have the 2017 Chevy Traverse. That's my wife's car. Then we have a 1964 Volkswagen Bug. And I have a 2000 Dodge 1500 quad cab. And that's my daily driver. And then I have a 19. When it came to America, they slapped like 2 different names on the MG. Kiss is welcome. Buffering. Oh my God, a 64 Bug. You want a Bug? Yeah, to tell you interesting about the Bug. So when I moved into this house, shortly after buying it, the Bug doesn't run. My father-in-law, my wife's biological father, took the heads off the motor, and he was going to do a tune-up or timing or something like that. And he said that her car was running rough, and he never came back to put it back together. And the last time that Bug was on the road was in 2014. So it's just been sitting all in the shelf over there behind that flag. Is nothing but parts for the car. Every time he comes into town, he brings us another part. Says he's going to come back and finish the motor. I don't think he ever is. But back to what I was saying, though, when we first bought this house, the guy across the street, he's got in his backyard, he has 2 squarebacks that I think they're 65 or 64s. That's the squareback is the station wagon. He's got a couple notchbacks back there, and he has, I think, 7 or 8 Carmen Gias. But I would love like a 16-window van or camper van. So there's a computer over there. I can still read our. I'm a diehard Ford fan, especially when it comes to my Ford truck. So sometimes you just have to know when to cut it. There's good cars and bad cars, and you can have I forgot we also have a Ford Escape. Forgot about the Escape. I never drive that damn thing. We have all these cars, and I drive one daily. My wife drives one daily, and the rest of them just sit. Like my other Ford truck is, it was a wreck. I bought it from I use it mainly to haul trash because we live in a rural area. We get city trash collection up on the end of the street, but if you need to go to the landfill or anything like that, I need something to haul things in. So that's what I have the truck for. But I drive the hell out of that. My Dodge 1500 pickup. I drive that thing everywhere. You have a Subaru Outback, 2017 Subaru Outback. We've had a couple of Subaru Outbacks over the years. Great cars. Yeah, no, well, we had, yeah, they're the Outback. They're the limited edition. Eddie Bauer, or were they Land's End? They were something like that, but they were the Outback. So it just had the better trim level. Does anybody know how to get a car lasting forever? Sensible crime, maintenance. No, I pointed the camera that way because I'm over here doing something right here that I can't be on camera for. I'll be back and I'll be focusing it on me in just a minute. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube over what I'm doing. Soul Music 79. I need a vehicle bad. Mine has a salvage title and is unable to be driven. Come 10-1. Just went through a failed adoption and successful on. So the money is tight. Cheap. That's for sure. For my Dodge 1500 truck that I have, I paid $400 for that truck. It was I got it so cheap because I knew what was wrong with it. It was a relay that kept on messing up the electronic emissions control, and I knew that was what was wrong with it because my buddy had the same problem with the truck that he had, and it cost me $3 to fix that stupid relay. I've driven that truck from here to Wisconsin. That's about 1,300 miles round trip each way. I've driven it to. Last time I took that truck, I took it down to Galveston. I took it over on my trip to the coast a couple of times. Car that if you can find it. They're hard to find, but you can spend less than definitely under $1,000 for. Is try to find a Chevy Aveo. The first year of the Chevy Aveo, they were originally made by Suzuki. So it's got a Suzuki motor and Suzuki drivetrain, and the first generation were. The later ones, when they put out the Aveo 5 and the Aveo AVs and the LTs and stuff like that, those ones were, I think, made by with Suzuki and Chevrolet. So half the car was made, there, and the other half that was made in like Mexico. But you can pick them up dirt cheap. Okay, now I can turn the camera back to me. Don't get a little box come up just above the name when you start to type. I know what you're talking about there. Oh. Will, you got lost on the way to the kitchen? Well, it's quite a walk for me from where I'm at right now, from the garage to the kitchen. I got to get a coffee maker in here. I do. Well, especially since I lease out this space to another creator. There were two groups that were using this space to film my old studio space inside not inside the house. It's like attached to the garage itself before you get into the main house. But I had two groups that I was renting it out to, leasing it out to, but now there's only one. They're YouTube. Well, they're not YouTube, but they're creators. They have a podcast, and they just couldn't afford the equipment to start. So I said, hey, I have all this equipment. It's not being used on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, I'm helping them out to get a floppy disk. 09 Ultima that I'm trading in and looking at a Versa. The Versas are nice. My wife had she didn't have a Versa, but we almost got a Versa. What did she end up getting that year before when we were going to get the Versa? Oh, she bought a Land Cruiser. That was a nightmare. I'll never buy another one. Does anyone remember way back when you got your first car? You paid $1,000, which was a lot of money. Mine was a sky blue Plymouth rust bucket, but loved it. I guess you'd call it a beater now. Soccer mom of one. Yeah. First car I ever owned was a 1965 Buick Wildcat. I got it from my grandfather. He gave it to me. The first car I ever bought, I think it was a Datsun pickup. But I never paid anywhere near $1,000 for it. First nice car I bought was a Peugeot wagon. I'm sure those who were overseas know Peugeot very well. Will, do you fish and do boating? Linda, the only place out here to fish is on the river system. There's no lakes anywhere near us here. And that's the one thing I miss about being back there in the Minnesota, Wisconsin area is there's no place to really fish from like shore here. You have to have a boat here, and the rivers near here are pretty. They move pretty good. Rupel. Will got me thinking if I have my Denver vinyl here in this flat. Your which Denver? And Julie Y, good morning. Had the Escort. It was in the 80s. I'm on a Samsung. Yeah, this I got a webcam, and I'm watching it, streaming it through my computer laptop, HP laptop. 1970s Impala, green vinyl top, the whole floor, snow plowed when there was snow. 1970s Impala. You had something with Minnesota gold on it, huh, Linda? You almost missed me this morning, Julie. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I found the coffee. I went in to get coffee, and as soon as I walked in, everybody started to grab my attention. Hey, how you doing? Bucket of farts. Yep. So we used to call it Minnesota Gold. I've owned quite a few of those in my lifetime. I had a couple cars that one car it had so much rust on it, Linda, that we had baling wire on the door, and we drilled holes in the roof to keep the door closed because the latch had rusted out where it actually connected to the pillar. So, in that car, it was a Plymouth. I can't remember what the make was, though. It was a 70s Plymouth or something like that. But I ended up leaving that car, abandoning the car in downtown Minneapolis on Hennepin Avenue. No, or no, it was next to Lake Hennepin because I had gone past the Lake Hennepin and then it turned and it stalled and it backfired and it caught on fire from a backfire in the motor. And I just ended up, we put out the fire, and then the tow truck came, the police came, and I just said, I'll tow it home. And they left, and I left it there. I never bothered to go back for the car. Threw the title on the dash and signed it and said, screw it, didn't care. The Woolworth was the best. I'd say I bought most of my vinyls there. Back in the day, you used to be able to go to Sears and buy records here. In downtown Minneapolis, I used to go to a place called Northern Lights. It's all gone now. It's been bulldozed for the Timberwolves stadium. But I used to buy a lot of my records there. Merry-go-round music. You know, so American. I love it. Oh, you have to go, Karen? Bye, sweetheart. Thank you for stopping by today. Lots of people in Minnesota would park their nice cars in the garage all winter and drive junkers so they wouldn't rust. Dardine Creek, that is true. I know my parents did. My dad drove a GMC pickup truck that we lived on a farm. But he would park that thing in the wintertime in one of the horse stalls in the barn. And then he drove, I think it was a 60s or late 60s Chevy pickup. And he drove the hell out of that thing. But it wasn't so not only rusted, but if he hit something like a mailbox or something, because the roads are always icy. You never know what's going to happen. Or somebody else would run into him. He wouldn't have to worry about it. Bye. My wife is waving to me through the window.
What's up, nerd?
What's up, nerd? My wife. Want to say hello? I mean, hi. But I'm not a nerd. You guys are the nerds. We already talked about you guys and your gaming and everything else today. I don't game, so yeah, you're the nerds.
You play fantasy football.
Yes, I do play fantasy football.
It's just D&D with numbers.
D&D with numbers? There are no numbers in D&D?
Oh, there's a lot of numbers in D&D.
What are you doing?
Taking your coffee.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to leave. My wife just took my coffee that it took me forever to go get. My wife has stolen my coffee. Now I have no coffee. Julie wife says, hi.
What's up, Julie?
Hey, nerd, Ripple says. Good morning, Miss Will. Her name is Crystal, by the way. Can I have my coffee back?
Hey, you talk to your people. I'll just be sitting here keeping your coffee company.
She's keeping my coffee company by drinking it for me. You're going to breakfast with your friend.
I am.
And leaving me here to starve. I'm starving.
Oh, I forgot that we didn't have a kitchen that had like food in it and stuff.
I have to go all the way there in my weakened condition and I may not make it.
Oh man, that is a darn shame. How about I leave you with this coffee and then I'll go have bagels with the Melissas? There you go.
Thank you. Well, I got my coffee back. Yeah, get me a sandwich.
No sandwiches for Bill.
Ripples, no sandwich for me. No sandwich. But I got my coffee back.
Hey, how about all these delicious little treats I brought you the other day?
Yeah, I know. Miss Wee Lassie says, "Hi, Crystal. So love your lovely name for your hubby. LOL. It's wickedly cool."
Thank you.
Yeah, Ripple. I'll get right on that. Ripple says I need a butler.
I mean,
What about little man?
what about him?
We have a 3-year-old son. Think he'd bring me anything?
Yeah, but he hit you with it.
Well, Julie wants a bagel. What about Julie? Do you do mail order?
No, but Julie's welcome to join us.
Yeah, Julie. You're more than welcome to join them. All you got to do is just get on a plane and then get an Uber. And then,
Yeah, they're damn good bagels. So
a toy car. Yeah, Linda says he'll bring me a toy car.
Mm.
They'll come and throw one at me.
You don't get to play with his cars.
Nope, not allowed to play with his cars. I'm not even allowed to pick him up off the floor. He gets mad. What is MTFU? It's all right. It's a men's group that I'm part of. Stands for Man the Family Up. Inside the actual group itself, you can guess what we call what stands the F for. Bye, hon. But we're a mentoring group for. There's a multifaceted. We're a nonprofit organization now, but basically, in a nutshell, it's men helping men to better their lives. We help with employment and expenses, things that come up that nobody thought we're going to need. Maybe their car breaks down and we can help them. We offer designated driver program. We have a suicide prevention program, not just for members inside the actual group itself, but outside in the community. We raise money for people who are in need. We set up scholarships for people who've lost their fathers. But there's in the United States alone, there's 79,000 members. No, it doesn't stand for fudge. It's a 4-letter word, and it starts with that letter F, ends with K. But basically, the entire group was started because we wanted to bring the handshake back. A man is his greatest asset in this world is his value and his word. And you seal everything with the word. You say you're going to do something, you do it. You go to work, you take care of your family, and there's a huge segment of younger men out there that really have missed. They didn't have the father, in their life that showed them, the ropes, or what to do. So as a group, we all work together for the common goods of our communities. Bye, Will and Crystal. Oh, bye, Julie. You have a great weekend too. Sounds like the Trevor Foundation. We do so much. We've bought cars for single mothers who didn't have transportation to get back and forth to work. We've moved people, from maybe they were in a home and the living conditions weren't safe there, and we helped them move. We work closely here in the United States with the Salvation Army and women's and children's shelters. And we've done a lot. I could go on and on about it, but it started off on, Kiki. It's frack. But we've done a lot, and we're going to do a lot more. We started off on Facebook because we were tired of the fighting on Facebook, during the political elections. Everybody, was polarizing everybody, trying to push them to one side or the other. And then the two groups kept on fighting. Do you think Will is coming back? Blue Mermaid? Me? Maybe you lost your signal. I mean, I've been here all along. I mean, everybody else sees me. It is, but I mean, we've got people all over the world. UK, there's members in the UK who are setting up chapters there. We've got another chapter starting in Belize, another one in New Mexico, another one in Argentina. So Belize, Argentina, New Mexico, and I think it's in. No, I want to say Scotland, but I don't think it's Scotland. Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Linda. Little bit of Sandra. Good morning. Glad you could be here. Yeah, I do the most I can. I'm the founder of my local chapter here, but I wish I had more time to do more. But right now, and especially the last 6 months, it's been but I haven't made a lot of the meetings and gatherings. But right now I'm more financially supporting everything. So we just got done wrapping up a suicide prevention walk, and though I wasn't able to attend it, I gave a donation to the National Suicide Prevention. Dangity dang, bro just called. Gotta go pick him up. Bye, Kiki. Debbie loves vaping 70. Hi, a new subscriber learned about you last night from Linda K. Thank you. Well, really do appreciate that. Debbie loves vaping. I remember seeing you on the stream. I was there as well. One of these days soon, we're gonna do that, Linda. I'm gonna get onto one of your streams. Wish you could have done it last night, but I was driving. That's about 200 miles from here. I was coming back through the Cascade Pass, and I knew I was going to lose the signal as soon as I got down the other side. Light Feather 623. Good afternoon. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be wrapping this up here soon, but everybody can enjoy it in rewind. Do you have a channel too? Oh, Linda K listening. Yes. Awesome. I was going to ask you, what were you guys drinking last night, Linda? If you weren't, you should have. I know myself, I wanted to while I was listening to you guys. Just how her thing is spelled there, Linda K listening. Put that into the search box. You'll find it. You live in Oregon? No, I live in Washington State. Close. I have to go. Wee Lassie, bye. Yeah, I have to wrap this up here. My wife has already left. She went to go breakfast with her friends. I bet I'm a nut. Linda, you are. You are a nut, but you're our favorite kind of nut. Oh, yeah. She's always a hoot. You should check out some of her videos besides her live streams. Yep, that's my timer. I have to get going, but now contemplating, an American beer. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to try and do a live stream tonight with my friend Tim. I don't know at what time we will get back here. We are going to a friend's a surprise birthday party for my friend, she is turning 70 years old tomorrow. So we're throwing her a surprise birthday party tonight, and so I don't know what time that's going to get over with. So we're having dinner first, and then we're having the actual birthday party. But she doesn't know about any of it yet. Hopefully, thankfully. But I do have to get going. I have to go inside because my daughter is watching my son, and she's a great sister, but she does not like to watch him for very long because he is a rambunctious 3-year-old. So thank you for watching, and everyone, you stay safe out there. And again, thank you for joining me. You have a terrific weekend.